Ooh.
Yes, we are live. We are always excited to be here every week, aren't we, Joel?
Yes, and today's been an especially exciting one. Very busy here
Yes.
in Jagoot Village and
Yes.
Jagoot Lounge.
I love that though. I like that. I like us being busy exactly for that reason. So, hi everybody. I'm Mia Voss. I'm Joel's weekly sidekick here in the J
And
Group.
I'm Joel.
And you are Joel, the man, the myth behind all of this business. Today's going to be super busy, so we're going to dive in. But first, let's make sure that everybody can see us and hear us. If you can, please say where you're from. Say hello. I'll leave your comments. Count towards the giveaway we're going to do at the end of the show, which is what?
We're going to be giving away a $100 travel savings card, and that will go to one of our visitors at random based on your comments. So comment away, let us know where you're from, ask
Mhm.
questions. If we have time at the end, we will get to those. But we've got
Yes.
a lot of stuff to get through, so
Yeah.
definitely stick around to the end for that.
Sounds good. You know who's up in front and center? Brooke is here.
Hey, Brooke.
Yes. So
Definitely always front and center.
she is. She's holding down the fort. Hi from Phoenix. Hi, Ron. How are you? Yes, please say who you are. Jordan. Yes, thank you. Jordan is here too. We have all of our fun folks here. So again, we're not going to be doing as many questions this week because Joel has a lot to say. You
Yep.
do, don't you? And listen, hi from Miami. If you are just now joining us for the first time, you can go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and then that will actually show your face and your name, just like Ron's here, which is kind of exciting as well. So I don't think I have any housekeeping things for us today, just to dive in. And
Yeah.
you're like
Let's jump
Joel, the
in.
tool man.
Joel, the Toolman Taylor.
All
Well,
right.
yeah. So the more the lounge grows, the more we've realized that this isn't just about any one simple tip or trick or whatever. This is about having a whole set of tools in your tool belt and knowing how to use them based on your needs. A carpenter might use a saw and a screwdriver all the time. A plumber might use an entirely different set of tools. And it's very much the same with becoming a master of travel. And when I say master of travel, I'm not talking about like traveling a little more often and saving a few bucks. I'm talking about saving so much that you can do anything you want. You don't have to wait for retirement for that dream trip. You can take it next year. You don't have to limit yourself and drive across the country because you have a family of 5 or 6. You can
Right.
fly there for less than the cost of driving. And we have clients that have done that. So today we're going to talk about all of the different tools that we teach inside of Jagoot Lounge. We'll talk about how you can take advantage of those yourself, whether you're a free subscriber here in Jagoot Village, or if you want to consider our coaching program, which we call Jagoot Lounge. And that's kind of like the difference between, going to the gym and just using the equipment on your own, or having a personal trainer help you custom tailor a plan for your needs. So with that said, let's dive in. Let's talk about some of these tools that you can use depending on what you want to do with your leisure travel. So as you know, we cover 2 different rules. We only have 2 rules with the Jagoot way of travel. We find cash bargains that are such good deals you can't help but just book your schedule around them. Book your vacations around those deals because they're so affordable. It's just it's easier to take an extra day off of work or plan a trip that you weren't planning on because it's over Thanksgiving and it's so cheap you can go do it. So number one trick in your tool belt is to just look every day and look with the intention of finding a trip that you're going to make plans around. Now, if you're here in Jagoot Village, you can go over to the guides section, and we have videos about exactly where you can look to do that. And there are different tools that you would use. They're all online. They're all free, and you can use them to find these bargains that inspire what I like to call travel through osmosis. When you're looking every day and you stumble across a $29 flight to your best friend's hometown, maybe you get inspired to take a trip and have a fun weekend with that friend because you can fly there for less than a round of drinks. The same goes for flights to Asia. We have case studies from clients who have flown to Asia or booked flights to Asia because they're under $200. You don't find those deals if you're not looking every day. So, tool number one to have in your tool belt is to just look every day. And again, this isn't for that specific trip from June 20th to June 27th that you're planning, because that's when you have vacation time. This is stuff that all of a sudden it's such an amazing deal. You plan around it. And if you don't, no big deal. You can look and find more deals the next day. So again, we're not going to spend time talking about that today. We have an entire library of how and where to look to find those deals. And it doesn't take long. And you can find those in the guides section of JGoot Village. That's our free group here.
Which is where we are right now. And I just want to point out, and you even have it in italics on this slide here, with no use of frequent flyer points whatsoever. So again, that's that rule number one, is find where the deals are. The deals don't mean that you're going to spend your points. You can spend them in a much better place. And we'll get to that too.
Yeah. Yeah. And thanks for pointing that out. Rule number one doesn't require frequent flyer points ever. So anyone who just kind of thinks, oh, this is just all about juggling credit cards and sign-up bonuses. No, not at all. Mm-mm. In fact, here's an example. One of our members, who is now an expert inside our group, he found $260 first-class flights. Or actually, this was business. But it's still that lie flat thing. I mean, who cares what they call it? You don't have to worry about how far someone in front of you reclines. That's a pretty nice beautiful feature. $260 to Mexico. Oops, I'm sorry. That was Miami. Mm-hmm. But again, this is like the lie flat, your own private cubicle business class for $260. There are people on that plane that probably paid $400, if not $500, possibly $600 for that same flight to be crammed up in coach.
Right.
Look every day, wait for the bargains, pounce on them.
Yeah.
Get a lot more for your travel dollars.
That's right, because I even did that, and now I was able to get some of my miles back. But the one where I upgraded to first class, that cost me 37,000 United miles. Now that was just stuck in those miles I couldn't really use. I just thought, oh, this is going to be great for it. But it's such a great difference. Look at this user, our 395 round trip from Hawaii to the East Coast. That's a trip. Yes. Yeah. That's a trip.
There are people that pay $1,000, $1,200. I once got called a liar because his mom was a travel agent and she had never been able to fly him to Hawaii for less than $1,200.
Well,
I mean, that's a lesson in itself, first of all. But you just got to. You're right. If you look like most people and sit down twice a year to plan your vacation, those are the prices you'll pay.
That's right.
But there are great deals out there every day, but they're not going to wait around for when you go to look for them.
I love
Daniel is one of our members. He doesn't make a lot of appearances. We don't even go as far as to twist his arm into being an expert because he travels so often. He's been with us since the very beginning. Before JGoot, he had been to 5 countries. Since joining JGoot, he's been to 95.
Wow.
Also, this is a highlight for rule number 1. I finally twisted his arm into getting a points card. He hasn't spent a single one of them. He has well over 1 million points. All of his 95 countries that he's been to have been with cash. Rule number 1. That's it. That's Miami to Tokyo, $200. I mean, you just can't.
Golly, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And again, that's just to point that out too. If you're going to ask us, hey, we want that exact same thing too. That is why you have to look every day. These just like the wind blowing, things are going to change. So you really do have to look closely for that. Yep, Stephanie, we agree. Hawaii less than 1,200 is easy peasy.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, our rule, we actually have a chart. When you join the Jagoot Lounge, the first thing I do is I give you a homework assignment and I say, pin this up on your wall. This is a chart of the most you should ever pay for coach prices or business class prices. And the highest price anywhere in the world is $1,200. That's what you strive to pay. Is the most you should ever pay anywhere in the world for business class. And we teach how to do that in the lounge. Here's another Rule 1 example. Brooke, who now works for Jagoot. She started as a customer. She now works for Jagoot. She put her mom on a plane home from Madrid for $597. That flight was going for $4,000 when she checked later.
Boy.
So enough of that. Let's talk about another tool.
Okay.
Another tool that you can use is hotel status. So this is something that a lot of us use. You probably see a lot of posts from members who are, having nicer rooms than they've ever had in their lives. And it's not necessarily because of points. It's because of having hotel status. So we give some cheat codes on how to earn the highest status possible with hotels. And you don't have to go and stay 50 or 80 or 100 nights at a hotel to do that. The status is for people who do that, but there are cheat codes that you can just earn that status. Sometimes you don't even need to stay a single night. Now, there are all sorts of little rules, and sometimes you can do that, or you can just stay 10 nights, but it's nowhere near the minimum requirements that hotels require. And I was just looking for some examples, and this literally got posted yesterday from one of our lounge members. Couple things highlighted for you. You don't have to read the whole thing, but she's highlighting that they got upgraded to an Ocean View King Suite, 0 extra charge. And then in the end, they just kind of said, thank you for helping us unlock a level of luxury and travel they never thought they could afford. Now, Jessica and her husband, they traveled before. They took a couple vacations a year. But as she said in this post, this is their 7th Jagoot trip this year. All because they've learned to stretch their travel budget farther. I just can't help but kind of point out something else that people, that is a good mindset, whether you join our coaching program or just want to travel more or travel better. A big difference is you don't want to think about this as savings. Like if you have a $5,000 a year budget and you can save 20, 50, even 80%, that doesn't change a whole lot. Like saving $4,000 out of a $5,000 budget probably isn't going to change your lifestyle a whole lot. But if you think about, can I get 5 to 10 times more out of that 5,000?
Right.
That's where the definition of vacation entirely changes.
It does. Flip back to that first slide again, too, that when you talked about hotel, see that get free upgrades, free food, late checkout, treated like loyalty with no points required. That's a huge piece of it, too, of the shift in the mindset as well, of what you are getting for these things in addition. That's how you get bit by the bug.
Yep.
It's things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's just nothing like, I don't care how much money you make. There's nothing better than free.
And fancy. Free and
Yep.
fancy.
Free and fancy. I think last week we shared Ashley. She said, I mean, she's bold. She'll ask people what they pay.
Mm-hmm.
And she said there are people that, they paid twice what she paid and they're in the basic room and she's in the best room. Or they paid more than what she paid and they're in coach and she's in first class. It's just about having the right tools and knowing how to use them. That's it.
Thank you, Brooke. I agree. Those are definitely one of my favorites. Free and fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's a very good 4-letter word.
Right. Everybody loves it. All right.
Tool number 3, same thing, airline status. There are cheat codes. There are ways that you can earn the status of people who earn them the hard way. So there are people that earn it because they, their company flies them around, or they just plain spend a lot, or they travel a lot. Yeah, that's the hard way. I have no interest in that, have never had an interest in that. It's easier to just find a cheat code and go do it. And when you have this tool in your tool belt, you can get free upgrades to first class. So you can find bargain coach prices, and you can get free upgrades to first class.
Yeah.
So you spend less than what people spent in coach. We get that all the time with our lounge members, and you sit in the best seats in the plane. Free bags, that's kind of a given. Once you get to that status, free access to premier check-in, no more lines in security.
Oh man,
you get to get in and get settled, get on the plane first. And you still probably paid the least of everyone on the plane. Why? Because you know how to use the tools to your advantage.
So that's using rule number 1, like we talked at the very beginning. And then also with this airline status piece is great. I have to pull this comment up from Brooke real quick. My husband has decided we should pay you to work for you. Ask me about the $600 upgrade you got him for $61. He's a big Joel fan now, isn't he?
Yeah. Daryl is reaping the benefits of Brooke learning all of those rules now. And we talk about that. That's actually a term, like people call it. There's P1 and P2, player 1 in the point hacking game, and player 2. There's almost always someone who gets in, rolls up their sleeves, learns all the rules. And then player 2 is usually the skeptic, and they're like, I don't know if this is going to work. But then as soon as they start traveling in those first class seats and staying in those 5-star hotels that they didn't have to pay tons of money for, they start getting in on the game too.
They do. And I agree on this other favorite F word. Forget about it. Thank you for that. I wish I knew who that was. Let's give him kudos.
Nice.
And real quickly, this is why we do what we do too. Melody saying there will not be many people with elite status after this year unless the airlines extend it for another year. And those are conversations that we do have in the lounge as well, and keeping up on top of it, which I do love about that. As our lounge members, we're all keeping each other in the know.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that, but that's I don't know. I mean, that's a blanket statement that are kind of dangerous assumptions.
And that's why I'm saying you don't know. You never know.
We have a lot of people who have status for the first time ever because of learning a cheat code. Yeah. Speaking of, and again, so we're still on rule number 1. You know me, I always like to kind of have a balance between 2. We're talking about 7 tools today. 3 of them involve no points whatsoever. They can. Points make it easier, but they're not required. But Gil was one of our first coaching clients ever. And he just posted this thank you as, just because he's now a Platinum Pro with American Airlines. And that will last through all of 2022 and into 2023. Just a couple highlighted things. He's going to be Platinum Pro. He achieved that in 2 months. Lots of free upgrades. And how? He says, Jay Goot taught me how.
Gil, look at that with a bottle of wine. Joe, we see you. Thank you for that. Forget about it. Yes.
So
that's amazing. And so Gil just posted this the other day, but yes, this has been in 2 months. So these are possible.
Let's talk about another tool. So this is a really, really big one. This, I think, is like the biggest reason people don't give points the attention that they deserve. You've got to earn the right points. And you don't need to join the lounge to do that. We tell you right there in the guides section what the best credit cards are. If you go to jgoot.com/cards, we actually highlight what our top recommended cards are. Right now, there are 3. In 2 days, that will only be 2. Why? Because the rules change every day. This is also why we started a coaching program, because the rules constantly change and people want to go get more points or want to make sure they have the right card that's working the most for them. And you got to stay on top of what those rules are. But if you go to jgoot.com/cards, we have we share the ones that we recommend the most. Yes. And those are the ones that will earn you not like twice as many points, not 3 times as many points. I'm talking like points that are worth 5, 10, 20 times what other points are. There's another video where we talk about like these 1 or 2 cards are worth all of these others combined. And it's literally that powerful. So if you've ever had a points card and said, yeah, I did that once, and I got an Applebee's gift card, or I did that once, and yeah, I got a free flight, but I only earn a free flight like every 5 years. Well, that's because you're probably only earning a penny per point. You can earn way more, and you're only redeeming at a penny per point. You can earn way more. So the key is to earn the right points and get those free flights, get those upgrades, get those perks that you wouldn't spend real money on 10 to 20 times as fast.
And using money that you would spend anyway, honestly.
Yeah, we're not talking about running up your card just for the sake of getting points. You're still buying the same groceries. You're still going to the same restaurants. You're still filling the same tanks of gas. You're just doing it with cards that actually work for you and get you these benefits. And the biggest reason we do that, we're not all about chasing sign-up bonuses. We're not all about filling your card with dozens, or your wallet with dozens of cards. We're about having the right foundation of cards that work hard for you. Not just work for you, but work hard. And they get so many points that are worth so much in travel that most of us would never dream of spending real money on.
And I always throw this in. We're not talking about getting a big George Costanza size wallet of cards. That's always my favorite example. I only have 3 right now that I'm using. And also, if you do go to this jgoot.com/cards, that literally has the links that take you to that specific card to sign up. Now, those are referral links for some of our team members that are on the team, not affiliate links, but referral links. So that'll give you all the links that you need for the cards that we're talking about that we love.
Well, there's a lot you can read between the lines on that. It's not just affiliate commissions for getting a commission. Yeah. We only include cards that our experts are using. We don't get a referral fee if our experts aren't using them. So if you read between the lines, those are the most valuable cards that will work the hardest for you.
Not the most popular right now that get thrown out there. We always talk about that. Like we do have everyone's best interest in mind of not just going out and ruining credit or overspending on things to get things that you don't really need. So Slobodunk is here. Good to see you. Yay. All right.
So yeah, so there are two parts to rule number 2. There are earning multipliers. That's about earning the right points. We get new members all the time that say, oh, I've got 500,000 Marriott points. Oh, I've got 1 million Marriott points, or certain other cards or whatever. And okay, let's work with that. But those are worth a tiny fraction of what other points that you can earn through the cards that we recommend at jgoot.com/cards. So here's an example of earning the right points. One of our members, I went to look up this testimonial because a month ago she said, oh, I've had this card a month and I've already got 317,000 points. As I literally went to search for that this morning, so I could just come up with an example of earning the right points that work hard for each dollar that you spend. And now she's up to 400,000 points. So she's had this card 2 months and she has 400,000 points, not from spending $400,000, from spending $18,000.
Right.
Now, granted, she had some, she had a couple larger than normal expenses, but she wisely used those expenses to put on the card that she knew got her the most bang for the buck.
I love that.
We've got a topic on that in the guides section in JGoot Village. Feel free to check it out. Everything in Unit 1 is tips and tricks around rule number 1. And that way you don't have to constantly chase sign-up bonuses. Everything in Unit 2 are tips and tricks on how to earn points and redeem points efficiently and get a lot more bang for your buck. I tell you, I mean, it's, once you learn either one of those, how to earn more efficiently or redeem more efficiently, it completely changes the game.
It does, and even if you're thinking about, I mean, maybe this she might have had some new things happening at the home, had to get some appliances if she's doing home improvements, or me, I'm gonna be getting a new printer and new microwave. So I'm just thinking about these things that I'm gonna use the card that I got that does the most points. So again,
Yeah.
18,000, that may not be your spend, but that sounds like that's what she just was using on their family spend and had some upgrades. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. Glad this is
Yeah.
helpful
And
out there. Mhm.
so, and then the rest of that was private. She was asking for specific stuff. Ironically, we're going to do an office hour next week and we're going to dive deep into what she can do with those points. By the way, most people, like, that's a lot of points. Most people could get $4,000 in statement credits. That's nothing to sneeze at. But properly redeemed, that could be 10, 20, $50,000 in luxury travel.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. That's going to be the next tool. Redeem your points for more.
Mm.
Get greedy with those points. If you're sitting on 100,000 points, if you're sitting on 500,000 points, learn where to redeem those for maximum value. Because unlike pennies, which are pretty much worth a penny no matter how you spend them, points can be worth 10 cents a piece, 10 cents a piece, 25 cents a piece. 25 is the most I've verified myself. Actually, it's 23. So I've redeemed 100,000 points for $23,000 in value.
Which one was that, Joel?
That was our private suite on, or 2 private suites on Singapore Air. 100,000 points. 1 sign-up bonus. $20,000 in regular, normal, every year spend that you can earn 5x multipliers on. There are all sorts of ways to earn those points. And then when you learn to redeem them, you multiply them again. So yeah, tool number 5 is to be a hoarder. Hoard those points and never, ever, ever redeem them for less than a penny a piece. We've all done it. Those usually work out to be our best lessons moving forward. But yeah, hoard those points, hold out for multiples of a penny a piece.
Agreed. We've all done it. You're right. Got that stupid iPad. Still bitter.
And I
about
mean,
it.
this this is probably, I chose random tools just to stick with the tool belt theory. But this in itself, if there's one thing you could focus on, it's learn how to get maximum value out of your points. If, a penny a piece is a shovel, a redemption multiplier, and learning how to do it is, what is that thing? Construction equipment. It's the difference between a shovel and that thing.
And the backhoe. That's a backhoe, sir.
Backhoe. Thank you. Could not think of it.
I love this. Hoarders buried alive in points. Yes. I love that. Yes.
All right. So those are all 5 different sets of tools, any one of which can drastically change your travel game. And again, don't think of this as how to save money on travel. Think of it as how to stretch your existing travel budget farther than you ever imagined possible. Any one of those 5 tools can do that. Just as another example, this is one of our members. Within a month, she, now granted, she already had some points coming in, but she was a hoarder. She knew not to spend them. Within a month, she learned where to dig for those deals, where to find, where to redeem those. And she booked 3 $3,500 nights. This is a private island. They pick you up at the airport. They limo you to either a boat or a seaplane, depending on the season. And they fly you to a private island with 8 units. It's all inclusive. It's all the bells and whistles. It's $3,500 a night. She redeemed that for about $1,000 worth of points. And that's if so she could have cashed those points out for 120,000 points for $1,200, or she could redeem them for probably the most luxurious stay that most people achieve in their lifetime.
Oh, definitely, because she said it would have cost us 10,500 for 3 nights. Yes, you read that right. So that's
And she
something we
spent
wouldn't
0.
even consider. Yeah,
0
that's
out of pocket.
amazing. Yeah, because she had
Now,
that. Nicely done, Nadia. That's great.
For our financial folks who say, I would rather have cash back, I can do that. I can put that in a mutual fund. I can invest that and earn. Sure, you could get $1,200, and in about 12 years, you can turn that into $10,500. I mean, it's opportunity cost. Yes, I totally acknowledge that it's not $0. It is the opportunity cost of $1,200 worth of points that could have been cash back. But when you can immediately flip those points into travel that you would never spend real hard money on, there's just no comparison. Because you can turn around and do that again after you run out of points the first time.
Right. That's
Can't do that with mutual funds. You got to wait like 10, 20 years.
You cannot. And that is a mindset flip as well, because you're right.
Yeah.
If you want to think in terms of the old school, yes, I take this and I put it here. And you're right. You got a nest egg. You got to sit on it, wait for it to hatch, not this. This is exponential. Now that's an inheritance. Somebody says, "Can you leave unused points to someone in your will?" So we'll let Brooke jump
That's a
into
topic
that.
in itself.
That is. So
There are some workarounds for that. Technically, no, but yes, there are workarounds.
Okay.
And again, cheat codes, workarounds, that's what we focus on.
Yes.
And I threw this up just for fun. I said birds of a feather. This has been a side effect of Jagoot Lounge. This is becoming a family. I mean, we've got people who are willing to loan points to each other if like someone needs to top off their points. They're complete strangers who are offering to loan points to each other. Nadia shared this amazing sweet spot that she found. And normally these are things that like people keep to themselves because, 8 units on an island, probably only a fraction of them are available for points. Well, she shared it. And then some friends, her friends, she knew had some points. They're going to join in this amazing experience with them.
Wow.
Also $0 out of pocket.
Yeah.
Just from knowing these cheat codes.
Right. I mean, what a gift too. That's not something you would have had your friends go. And then when that all comes together, I love that. You know me.
Yeah.
I love good stories like that.
Yeah. So that's been an unanticipated bonus of this family that we're building inside our very intimate coaching program.
Yes. We just did that a couple weeks ago, y'all. We had a one person coming through, and then I don't know about how many, about 20 of us all just sort of converged on each other, and people came in to say, "Oh, you're going, I'll come in too." And then they were able to get some rooms. Everybody got their Hyatt points, and so it caught fire. It was pretty fun.
Right. Yeah, we had no idea it was going to turn into that. All because
person.
When you know how to travel, you can just hop on a plane spontaneously and go take a trip for a random lounge event that probably wouldn't have drawn. Well, it didn't draw that many people from Denver, but people from all around were like, "Oh, if Mira's going, I'm going. I want to meet Mira. I want to meet Joel. I want to meet Brooke. I want to meet Joe." And yeah, like 20 of us were in town hanging out for just because we could.
Yeah.
So how do you learn about this? Well, we've got plenty of free resources in the guides section in Jagoot Village. Now, those are all actionable, applicable things that you could take and apply and do. There's absolutely no reason that you couldn't apply those and get 1,000 to 5,000 in free travel a year. Just wash, rinse, repeat. That's 1,000 to 5,000 in travel that you wouldn't have done. 1,000 to 5,000 in upgrades you'd never spend real money on. 1,000 to 5,000 in whatever. Who cares? Like when you have these secrets, you can use the cheat codes and just apply them however you like. So that's the free version. And our whole philosophy is like, help you do that. Nothing kills me more than when someone says, "Oh, help! I need to go to a funeral, and we have a family of 6, and it's going to cost us $3,000, and it wasn't in the budget." That could have been solved with preparation, with points, with flexible tools, with Hail Mary plays, knowing how to look for the hidden bargains. But by the time it comes to that, it's usually too late, and you either don't go to be there for a very important family emergency, or you lose a week of work because you can only afford to drive, or whatever. You apply these tools and you can fly your family of 6 for less than the cost of driving there and gas and hotels. budget hotels.
It really is a huge piece of it too. For me, I just travel by myself. But if you do have a family, and then you do have something like that where you need to get yourself, your wife, and your husband, or whoever it's with you, and your 3 kids like that, and you have to go, but you're breaking the bank for it. So
Yeah.
it is some preparation work, and but that's what we talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. So tool number 6 is our home study course. So what you see in the guides section, that's a home study course in itself. You can go through that. Like I said, unit 1 covers cash deals. You don't need any points. Unit 2 covers how to get a lot more out of your points.
Mm-hmm.
Unit 3 is examples and case studies. What I showed you, this isn't even like 5% of the case studies we have in unit 3. So if you don't believe it, just find someone who's got a similar scenario to you. We've got big families. We've got empty nesters. We've got retirees who are all just applying these tools to fit their needs and changing the way they travel.
Yeah.
Of course, shameless plug for Jagoot Lounge. We have a far more comprehensive home study course inside our coaching program that allows you to go through it at your own pace. And then we have what we call checkpoints. And so just like, everyone needs a coach. Michael Jordan needs a coach.
I need a coach.
Most pro athletes have coaches. They have multiple coaches. They have hitting coaches. They have shooting coaches. They have pitching coaches. And what we found is that our coaching program is there for that too. So we have multiple people who travel this way. Every single one of our coaches started out volunteering, just sharing their expertise. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we're all that one person in our crowd of friends who everyone says, "Oh, I could wish I could travel like you."
That's right.
And all of us jump on that and we say, "What? Oh, you can. Here, go do this, go do this." And then we just all watch our friends' eyes glaze over and they just think, "Oh, it's too much trouble." And then we're like, "But no, it's not too much trouble. It's so easy." And it like, if you just are open to trying something different, it will change how you travel forever.
It is a mindset. And let me just say, apparently I have a gaggle that's going to travel with me now. You will travel with me. Please travel with me. And someone else is bringing their Frenchies. So 2 Frenchies and a couple other people. We have a trip going. I want those. Right. I want those over the water.
Girls trip to overwater bungalows in Maldives.
Yes, in Maldives. Thank you. Yeah. Boom. Done.
It can be done when you have the cheat codes.
Yes, exactly. So, and if you are interested in the lounge, that's what you have it. See, it says about our travel coaching program. Just type in interested and you see everybody that's saying, "Hey, I'm going to send you a message." Boom, we'll be right on it. Yay, Stephanie, Slobodanka is going. All right, we have a group. Let's go. A gaggle of gooters.
Sounds good. Yeah. So, with the coaching program, basically we have the home study course. That's kind of like buying the DVD set to your favorite TV show. You can watch it at your own pace. You can binge watch and plow through it in a week. You can, watch a couple episodes a week and get through it. And by the end of a 12-week course, that's kind of our timeline. That's the minimum time that we say at the end of 12 weeks, you can get on a plane and fly anywhere in the world in first class for free. That's basically the goal of our 12-week program. Yes. So we have a home study course. That's kind of your self-explanatory home study. We also have current events. Like I said, the rules change all the time. The rules are going to change for Hyatt in 3 days. So we'll talk about, what does that change? The order of best cards, worst cards, and all that. And we talk about that. We talk about recent trips that our experts took. We call those blueprints. I took a $12,000 first class 5-star vacation in Costa Rica with my family of 4. I paid $1,500. I break it down. I say, here's how I did it. Andy took a $23,000 luxury vacation. So he spent twice as much for 2 of them. That's luxury. And he spent $900. He came home. He wrote it all down in a notebook. He said, here's how I got the points. Here's how I redeemed them. Here's how I knew that they were the best value. Here's a blueprint. You can go do the same thing. Yes. Those are our current events. Those are the inside the lounge. Those are our office hours. Then we kind of have a grad level program also inside the course. These are your dream vacations. Most people dream of taking a $50,000 African safari when they retire. You can do that next year. We have an exact blueprint of how to plan an overwater bungalow vacation, how to plan an African safari, how to stay at a 5-star all-inclusive resort instead of the 3-star one with crappy food and bottom shelf drinks that you've never heard of, because that's all that's in the budget.
And bad views.
Yes.
That we don't love either. Real quick, if you are wanting your name to show up, you can go to streamyard.com/Facebook and you give permission, and then we'll be able to see who it is that's making the comments. And real quick, I also want to say the blueprint piece that we have in the lounge is amazing. I love that because it can get very detailed, but again, blueprint, you build something cool.
Well, and that's what introduces the most exciting part, which is our newest introduction to the lounge. And so far this has been me with a lot of help from experts, but it's mostly me kind of leading the show. And hey, I teach in a certain way, and some people get it, other people don't. Mm-hmm. The whole idea of checkpoints is we now have all of our experts who all bring their area of expertise. Remember, I just showed you 5 different tools that you can, any one of which, if you master, will double or triple how far you take your travel budget. If you master 2 or 3 of them, you can add a 0 to your travel budget. Literally, you can take $5,000 and get a $50,000 vacation if you master 2 or 3 of the tools. You don't need to master all 5. You need to pick the ones that you like the best. And our checkpoints are just that. So all of our experts have various checkpoints. So at checkpoint 1, you meet Stephanie. Stephanie is our companion pass expert. She's flown, with her companion for free, all of their trips for the past several years. She knows how to earn that without sign-up bonuses. She knows how to earn it with sign-up bonuses. She knows how to keep it. She knows how to, she's become a Hyatt globalist. So she's learned from other experts. Mm-hmm. And she's kind of the first point that says, okay, let's get you in. Let's show you how our coaching program works. Let's show you how to get everything you possibly can out of it. She gives you some homework. You go and do that, all within the home study course. She kind of gives you the cheat codes to the home study course. Like, okay, you can fast forward to this section. Definitely watch this video. Checkpoint 2. Everyone loves Mira.
Yes.
Everyone loves Mira. If you haven't gone to our testimonial section, if you haven't seen Mira's around the world in first class for under $900 video, I'm sorry, around the world in business class for under $900 for 2 of them, you have to watch that. I mean, it's inspirational. I tear up every time I talk about it. Mm-hmm. And Mira started as a customer, as a client who was already an avid traveler, but she knew nothing about points. Now she knows points and her whole world has changed. So we're talking about a travel addict who already built her life around travel. She built her work schedule around travel. She traveled all the time already, but she spent a lot of money on coach flights and 3-star, 2-star budget motels. But that's how much she loved travel. Now she's doing it in business and first class. She's getting upgraded to penthouse suites. Mm-hmm. And she's actually spending less than she used to with her old travel lifestyle. So she's one of our experts. And I just realized I ran off the screen, but she's one of our experts now who shares, and she's a doctor by trade. All of our experts, by the way, have their own jobs. Travel is a passion of theirs.
Right. Big
difference between that and, it just being your career. Like this is something they do because they will share with anyone who wants to learn. Mm-hmm. And she's by trade, she looks at charts and analyzes dozens of charts every day. She's going to do the same thing. She's going to say, okay, how many points do you have? What cards do you have in your wallet? What do you want to do with your vacations over the next year? All right, mm-hmm. let's stop spending here. Let's start spending there. Let's get you on the right track. So you're just not earning boring amounts of points that get redeemed for boring amounts of redemptions.
She has a great analytical mind to assign to those dreams. So it's super fun. We love Mira.
Mira is in Bulgaria right now, and she's going to Egypt after that. All business class flights, I'm pretty sure.
And that is in the guide section here in the village as well. So you'll see we had a whole hour of dreaming with her about that. Yay. Now, Katie.
So remember, we're not all about points. And the
Mhm.
best way to not be dependent on points is to have a solid set of tools so that you can find amazing cash deals. Katie has a family of 4. Her husband is from Brazil. They go to Brazil at least annually. They now go twice a year. They used to, do everything they could to try to make it back annually. Now they go a couple times a year because just their cash deals are half to a third of what they used to spend. On top of that, their family of 4 travels at least monthly. So travel is a huge priority for Katie and their family. I got to meet her in Denver. She's a hoot. Got the best stories about her husband and his accent. But the big thing is she's not huge on points. We have a lot of experts who, they get some frequent flyer points, but most of their travel is from organic, just good old fashioned knowing how to find a crazy good bargain.
Katie says,
so she's our Hail Mary play expert. Hail Mary, as you know, is a desperation play. Like you got a funeral that you have to get to. You got a family of 5. You didn't have those flights in the budget. You roll up your sleeves. You try 10 different Hail Marys that we have, and Katie is a master of all of them.
Excellent.
So this is something where, we check along the way. Okay, do you have the skills you need to get on a plane tomorrow and not break the bank? Katie's your woman.
She is.
She's also quite the packing diva. She's got some YouTube videos about that. Their whole family never checks bags, even when they go for like 2 weeks.
I did not know that. Ooh, I need to go look that up.
Yeah.
Well done. Yes, Joe, it's working, by the way. Yay.
Kara's another one of our organic points earners. So Kira is, when I recruited her to kind of commit a little more time, not just kind of chiming in with her expertise here and there, but say, can you be here for our clients for office hours? She said, okay, but you know me, like I do not believe in sign-up bonuses. I don't do this. That's going to be my message. I said, please preach it.
Yeah.
They take at least one big vacation a year, like Thailand in first class, Africa in business class. They don't spend money out of pocket. They do it entirely on points. They do not do sign-up bonuses. They know how to earn the most points per dollar spent with every dollar they put on their credit card. So again, that's coming back to that foundational principle of earning multipliers. We're going to show you how to spend just like you always spend, just slightly tweak it so you earn way more points, and then learn how to redeem them a lot more efficiently too. So that's Kira. She'll check in with you around 8 weeks into your 12 weeks.
Okay.
At this point, you're starting to become a Jedi master of point earning. Now it's time to learn how to spend them efficiently. So our last 2 experts, Tom and Andy. Gosh, I can't believe I ran over all these things, but you'll figure it out.
Just read it to us.
Yeah. So this is about getting all you can out of status and points. You just like Tom has been on pretty much every aircraft that flies. He's been an avid traveler. He's been a huge airline fan since he got introduced to business class travel with his dad as a kid. Tells a fun story about that in one of his lessons. And he knows how to manipulate those points into like 5, 10, 20 times what most people get out of them. He's also kind of become the nerd of our group. He geeks out on the numbers. He just did a session last week that melted all of our brains.
Were there spreadsheets involved? Excel spreadsheets?
Yes. Lots of spreadsheets, lots of charts. Lots of magnifying glasses to see all of the detail that he had. Yeah. But bottom line, it was like, hey, here's a cheat code on how you can earn status even faster than the fast cheat code that American is currently offering.
Wow.
And so, Tom, such a gift to our group. All of our experts are such a gift to our group.
Yes.
Oh, and then Andy, like just fasten your seatbelts. Andy is exotic in every aspect of his life. In the cars he drives, he is a car. He races cars. He travels internationally for those races.
Mm-hmm.
And little tip, like he's 90% of race car drivers have to fund their own way.
Right.
So he has to fund his own way, and he does it in first class. He's not going to fly across an ocean and get up the next morning for a race unless he flew there in like very posh, very comfortable first class.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows how to redeem more points than anyone. He knows how. He knows how to earn more points than anyone else, just on a regular basis. No credit card turning required. He knows how to redeem them for more than anyone else, and he's taught all of us just huge lessons on how to take those points and get as much as possible out of them. He can also take things to the next level, which is a whole different topic we can't afford to get into right now. But yeah. And then we have other experts, most of whom haven't committed to regular office hours, mostly because they're traveling all the time and they couldn't pin themselves down to a regular amount of time. Joe is our Hyatt globalist expert. He's been a globalist for, I don't know, I think as long as that status has existed with Hyatt. And he was responsible for getting all of us suites. We all checked into the cheapest room in the place when we all met up in Denver, and he got us all upgraded. He made sure all of us got upgraded to like top floor 800 to 1,000 square foot suites. We also all partied in his suite because it was the biggest.
We did. That was the gathering we were just mentioning earlier too. That blame Joe.
Yeah.
And it was great. And John, yes.
John is also a member who became an expert, and he's so sharing in the lounge. He shares every tip and trick. They used to travel not quite monthly. I would say like every 5 weeks or so. So maybe like 10 trips a year. Now it's more like 15 to 18 trips a year.
Wow.
They still travel just the same. Most of them are short weekender trips, like to the Caribbean and Mexico and various places in the States. But they've upped their game in that they're traveling twice as much for the same budget, and they are traveling in way better luxury. Like, so they still fly coach, but they put their knowledge, they apply their tools towards luxury lodging. So they're staying at way nicer places than they ever did before, and traveling twice as often. And there's me. I'm just the guy who tries to keep up with everyone else. And of course, the center of it all, the glue that keeps us all together, is Brooke. Brooke is another client. She's been with Jagoot since the very beginning. They were a travel family, like a typical travel family. Every other year, like every year to family, and maybe every other year when vacations fit. They're traveling more than ever before now. Brooke hates when I talk about her, so we'll cut it off there. But the lounge, Jagoot wouldn't be what it is without her. She's a kindergarten teacher. She was a kindergarten teacher before she quit to come work full-time for Jagoot. And she makes sure to nurture every single member, makes sure they get all their questions answered. She helped out.
She does. To use the construction analogy, she's the grout joints,
Yes.
She keeps everybody all together. Yay, Brooke.
Yeah. So that's our coaching program. Basically, if you travel more than once or twice internationally and you're tired of doing it in coach, it'd be a great fit. We'll show you how to take those trips that would cost 5 to 10 times more in first class. And we'll show you how to actually cut your budget that you're spending on coach. If interested, type interested. We'll have a candid conversation with you. If it's a fit, we'll tell you about our program. It's not for everyone. If it's not a fit, we'll tell you what free tools you can use so that it does help. And like I said, our free tools will get you 1,000 to 5,000 in free travel a year.
Yes.
Our coaching program, you can pretty much add a zero to that. Like, our goal is we'll show you how to get $10,000 to $50,000 in free travel, whether that's upgrades, traveling more often, first class flights for less than coach prices, all sorts of different ways you can get a lot more out of your travel budget. And I just shared the amazing team that will help you do it and that have helped me do it. I mean, I've learned so much from so many of
Sure.
our coaches.
And to give you guys a little bit of backstory, I mean, Joel and I have known each other for a couple years now. So to watch the evolution of what Jay Good had started out with, the email every day, just telling you what the great flights are, the information to now this team. And this team's really fleshed out, and especially in the last, oh my gosh, 6, 7 months. So it's pretty fun to see.
Yeah.
Yay. And again, it's the lounge program specifically is not for everyone, but we will help you to determine that and then also lead you in the right direction, like Joel said, with any of the specific ones that we can do. So, all right. That's good. Juicy.
Yeah. We got an amazing team. We'd love to help show you how to use what tools work best for you, whether that's in our free village group in the guide section or in our paid coaching group.
Okay. How we doing?
Good. I think we can wrap it up. Have a little drawing
Okay.
for one of our commenters.
I have the random number generator up here. So just to remind you again, so the gift is the $100 travel savings card. Usually Joel holds it up like the hand model that he is, but I don't think he has one today.
Here's a $300 one. We're giving them a $100 one. There we go.
Oh, you know what, Brooke? The Frenchie's taking a nap downstairs. Shoot. Next week, tune in next week. I promise you I will bring the Frenchie in right off the bat. So Gidget loves to make appearances. I love that. All right. So here, do you want to do a drum roll, please?
Yes.
Bam. Number 83, by the way, that is the comment number. That is the winner. So we're going to count through. We literally every week count through. When I say we, I mean usually. Yeah, it's high tech. 1, 2, 3. And we will let you know who that is. So I promise you will have some Frenchie next week. More information because Joel and I show up every week and do this, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We wouldn't miss out on that. So, all right, number 83, we will follow up with you. And that's it for this week. If you are just catching the tail end of it, we will have the replay. So, not to worry. Okay.
All right.
Everyone. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Happy travels.
Yes. I love that.